What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, author of The Smartphone Millionaire: How to Invest in People and Real Estate and Businesses from the Palm of Your Hand. And I just had to come do this show. It's going to be a quick show, 30 minutes, but I'd love you to drop your city and state and put a one if you can hear me well. Here's the deal: people want new levels, but not new behavior. New money, but not new changes. And I keep seeing this over and over and over and over and over. And I just had to do it because today I did over 15 phone calls today. So my voice is like hurting. But we also mailed out 100 credit repair letters today. There's also 150 going out tomorrow from the office. So there's a lot of people who purchase credit repair. And if you need to do a follow-up, if you need to send me your updated reports, any of those things you need to do, you need to hit me up in the emails, right? And here's the deal: 90% of the time, you guys have to stop the shortcuts. Now, what do I mean? This isn't just a show about credit. This is just overall this week, this day, Facebook, all the internets, right? So and I'm going to do a whole show on this. There was a neighborhood in Jackson, Mississippi, and there's a HBCU down there, Jackson State. And they took over the community on one side and repaired over 65 homes. So this whole neighborhood transformed because a group got together, put their money together, and start buying up all the vacant lots, the vacant houses they had, and putting the work in themselves. Why? Because they had the skills, they had the know-how, they connected with each other. And now many people will say, well, they were vacant houses. They were ran down. Even better. Cheaper prices, better to get them at. Put some work into them. And the people, what they've done that's so smart is they made a community garden, they made a local store, they're gonna make a youth program. You have to save you. If you want change in your neighborhood, you're gonna have to change it. And I know what people are thinking of, well, I wouldn't live on that side of town, or I wouldn't do this or that. And here's the deal: most of those people saying that don't do anything. Now let me make it very clear. From your 20s to your 50s, most people are acquiring things. It's a very American thing. You're acquiring things. You're at your top of your income earning potential. You're getting houses and all that sort of stuff. Now, when you're 60 to 80, sometimes you shrink down. You get a smaller house, or you get a 2-bedroom condo, or you go to assisted living. You make different choices because you're in a different season of life. And many people are trying to jump past their season in life to go Big Willie style. And that's why we have such a credit card problem right now. That's why everybody's credit cards are maxed out and accounts getting closed. And you can go my FICO forums and see people complaining and hollering. You even see it when I'm doing credit repair. I've done thousands at this point. And I'll be like, hey, once you get my FICO or credit check total, oh, they're going to charge me $29 a month. Okay, you're trying to buy a house in the next 90 days. You need to see if any major changes happen to your credit. You need to be on alert. $29. If it's going to break you, then you are not ready for a lot of things. And you may say, Erica, that's easy for you to say. I don't make a lot of income. And again, there lies the problem. We have to assess where we are. Do we need to make more income, or we need to track our expenses better? Because if $29 wrecks you for the month, you're in a bad position. Now, you don't have to do that. You can say, well, Erica, I get free access. The free credit report law says I'm able to get a free report. Okay, cool. We can do that. No argument from me. But again, when people want new levels in life, new changes, they have to make the investment. And that's why you see a lot of people out here hopping from business ideal to business ideal to business ideal. Or once they start talking them out or fleshing them out on the phone with me, oh yeah, that don't make sense. Yeah, it don't. It don't. As long as you know, it don't make sense. Cool, right? And I can't tell you what's the best business for you to start. You have to be a true assessor of self-assessment of your skills and what you're capable of doing, and the time, right? Again, I saw 4 or 5 posts today on Instagram, and then another 5 posts on Facebook alone today, where people are like, yeah, I was going to help some people for free. 50 dudes reach out to me. I call them all back. Only 5 called me back. You have to stop that. If somebody is spending their valuable time to help you, to get you on some game or do whatever it is they're doing for you, even if it's responding to an email, you have to be respectful of that person's time. And what a lot of people are saying is, oh, I want to change, Eric, I want to change, but you really don't want to change. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we live in a society where everybody pretends. Like, hey, it's January, I'm totally going to work on my fitness. When you've been telling people you've been paying for a personal trainer for 3 months and you've bought new equipment to work out on in December, like people are like, oh, I don't know why. Why are you doing that? Why don't you wait till January? Why? Why wait till January? You was fat in August, so why are you tripping? And so a lot of times I'm just trying to get people to focus that in order to set new track records for 2019, some shit got to go. Some changes in behavior must happen. A lot of people tell me they want to be more outgoing. They want to go to more events in their town. They want to be invited to more things. And I go, well, what are you even doing now? Did you go on Eventbrite? Have you looked up events on Facebook? Have you looked up opportunities for you to go to different meetup groups and different things? And people say no. They just basically come home from work and sit down. You've told me what you want to do. You just want to veg out. You just want to watch TV. Well, your life is going to look like that for the next 5 years. Just sitting on the couch, watching TV, vegging out. So, in order to get new levels in your life, you have to do new things. And I know it sucks to hear that over and over again, but it just is what it is. Now, when it comes to business, I'm going to do a video. If you looked on my Instagram, it's Erica's Classy Climb. It'll be in the links. If you look on Instagram, and I think I might put it in the private Facebook group first. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put House Buying Brian's video. I'm making a note right now on this piece of paper because I'm going to the movies tonight, so I'm not going to be here long. House Buying Brian, he's showing his screen on his phone. And people say, oh, what would I care about that? He has 7 different apps or whatever on his front screen of his Apple phone that are vital. He's a wholesaler, but he's done $100,000 last year. Then he did over 18 flips so far. And many people say, well, how? He had a full-time job. How? And it's simply literally driving around Houston, a particular part of Houston, using not just a deal app machine. I think he used Landglide before that, but essentially deal machine, snapping a picture, sending out postcards, following up, calling people, being personable. Many people are struggling with the personal side of business. A lot of times I talk on the phone to y'all be like, oh, hey, how are you doing? I'm like, hey, how are you doing? We're doing a consult call. Tell me more about you. I don't know. And I get it. It's tough to talk about ourselves. It's tough to communicate with people. But these are vital skills that change your life. If you look at a lot of these tech companies, they have to hire people to help some of these engineers communicate with each other. Like they literally have managers who are like passing messages back and forth. It's ridiculous. But it's because people don't work on soft skills. And at the end of the day, if you can just increase your emotional IQ like 5%, it's out of this world. It's out of this world. I was watching Vid Summit the other day and I was laughing about, and it's 56 videos in the replays, and I watched it and there was some great technique, but you could tell some of the people on stage were like, but they were on stage and they're making a ton of money. They're making 6 figures from live streaming. They're making multiple incomes from different aspects of YouTube, affiliate marketing, different things. Now, somebody will say, well, Erica, what should I do? Should I do real estate? Should I do YouTube? Should I do this? Should I do that? You have to still at some point provide a skill and a service. And if it's easier for you wherever you live, and I know, that's why I asked you for your cities and states. Some of you live in areas where y'all are driving around areas that are ripe. You could be taking pictures and sending postcards every day. And a lot of people are like, but what do I do once I send the postcard? There's so many different steps. There's so many different steps where you can be marketing and you don't have to worry, and it's gone like that. Now people are going to say, well, Erica, the economy's changing. The people who have deals, there's always somebody with some money. But it has to be a deal. The numbers have to be right. That's one thing. And so I'll do a whole little show. I'm going to do a mini show inside the private Facebook group. And then I'll figure out a bigger show to do. Because right now we're in the 12 days of Christmas. And this is in between 12 days of Christmas. Asia was supposed to come on today, but she went to Barbados to see her sister's wedding. So, her schedule's tight. And also other people that I'm bringing on, they're so busy. This is the 4th quarter. That as the rest of the year, we got Money Mandu coming on. We got Kendra Barnes. We got all these people coming on. And you got to realize these are busy people who are giving. We're doing a giveaway. I'm taking their products and courses and giving them away to one of y'all. Now I'm going to go, when I come back later tonight, I'll review the comments and pick a winner for Andre's stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you have to make a commitment to want to use this 12 days of Christmas as a launching pad for 2019. Because if you stay on it, I mean, I'm really serious, you guys. If you do 90 days straight of some of these activities that'll help you grow your business, help you grow your life, like, it's life changing. And I'm just laughing because I know people who like pay stacks and stacks and stacks on taxes every year, and they're actually glad to do it because they're like, dude, you know what? I used to make this a year. Now I'm paying it in taxes. It sounds crazy, but it's like new levels, new mindsets, if that makes sense to everybody. Now, housing. People say, well, Erica, The housing market. You see, it's she's got some problems there, you know? Stop it. I'm in an apartment, and first thing I'm doing right now, every week, when I'm outside of me doing some of the photos I'm taking for Deal Machine around the Austin and Inspire other areas in Killeen, Texas, I'm looking for a house. Apartments suck. They just do. Between the neighbors, between the noise, between the dog poop, like literally, like I'm in a luxury apartment complex, and they're having to argue with grown adults about letting their dog poop and not picking the poop up. And they're like, why can't we just get charged more and someone picks the poop up? Are you serious? Like, are you serious? And so that's the kind of mentality that you're dealing with out here, not just in the apartment space, but in life. People are so lazy that if you do 2% more than other people, you win. You do 2% more than other people, you went from $100,000 to $300,000. And there's so many things I wish I could show y'all, but I'm gonna have to put it in like separate groups or something. Like the difference between going from 100,000 to 300,000 is like, it's like systems and like the amount of service. And people don't want to hear that, but a lot of people build businesses that keep them here. And let's be real honest, a lot of people try to fly under the radar. I got my little side business. I got my little side, girl, the thing I do on the side. And you're always like, stop treating it like it's not important. If something puts an extra 10 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand in your pocket, it's not little. It's legit. And I remember someone, people love saying, well, your little business still going. Yeah, and it paid me stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks and stacks that I can buy stuff in cash and it don't matter. And when people are like, well, Erica, you know what you should do, right? You should come out here. You should stun on a car. You should put money to your ear, and you should put all your credit cards on the table and take a picture, and it'll be so awesome. You'll get all these followers, and you'll get all this stuff. And guess what? Those are the wrong type of people. Those are shortcut people who are going to be in 2 years when the recession's really here. They're going to be working somewhere, working a job, and be like, I tried that business stuff. It didn't work. I tried credit repair. It didn't work. Every day of the week I hear people saying, I tried credit repair. It didn't work. And then I go look at their credit report and I know, well, nothing about you has changed. Nothing was wrong with the credit repair. You didn't change. You didn't follow instructions. A lot of times when it comes to credit, people are trying to play a game. Same thing. This Ultra FICO is going to change a lot of that, because if you don't have the money coming in, it don't matter. It's an old technique. A lot of times people would have credit cards. Let's say they have a credit card. I'm doing a small amount, $500 credit card. The bill is due on the 12th. You know it. Now it may show up on the 14th as like settled. Well, do everything in your power to put $500 on at the 12th, so that you just sit there for 2-3 days, hold it, and then boom, it shows up on your credit report as the balance being lowered, your utilization being lowered. A lot of you are stuck in the 600, 605, 620, 635 because you refuse to keep those balances down. Now, many of you say, well, Eric, I have bills. I have stuff I got to do, girl. I can't be putting all my money on that. Even if you're doing it for a day or two and then you have to go back and use the card or get the money off the card, that's fine. But you can't want something from the game and don't want to play the game. Does that make sense? When I tell y'all on video after video, you have to have new payment history, and y'all keep fighting me on it. Like, no, I just want to get everything off my credit. I just want a clean slate. I want to start over. Start over with what? Nothing. No bank will loan to you. No credit card will give you a credit card. All these people doing these trickeries with the clean sweeps stuff, you're not going to get the credit you want because there's no track history. A lot of times people do all these things, and guess what? Mortgages, them late payments, school loans, a lot of the bulk of that stuff will stay on there. And a lot of people you see taking these screenshots, I'm getting their customers from where everything fell off, Erica, and then 5 months later it all came back on. Oh, it did? Okay. Same thing with the AUs. People are trying to use AUs to boost their score up. But one, you have to remember this, a lot of times that FICO 9, FICO 8, and different FICO score levels, you cannot use AUs to get a mortgage. Okay, a lot of times what you use AUs for, and they're weakening by the day, is to get new credit that you will be responsible for. If you get 3 new credit cards out of this new AU, even if their low balance is $1,000, be responsible with them, and then in 90 days ask for an increase, credit line increase. And many people are like, nah, man, I'm JG Wentworth. Give me my money right now. There ain't nothing we can do if you've been having 7 years of terrible, awful credit and bad decisions that's going to happen in 30 days. Period. Only thing that only thing that can happen in 30 days is you go make more money. You go make more money, you go build a business, you go get income up, and that income lets you do new things. I cannot tell you, I could tell you probably like 30 people right now who are business owners with making 100,000 a year with shitty credit. But guess what? Their car's paid off, they got a house, they don't care. They don't live by credit. They don't live by it. It's a part of their stuff, but they don't live by it. A lot of people get their foot in the door and then don't care. And it's a lot of white people. I'm telling y'all, I know a man with, he has multiple. I'm not trying to tell his business, but he has multiple business accounts, multiple stuff. And his companies are like eBay, one's like a drop shipping thing. But at the end of the day, all he did was play with his credit enough to get a credit card so he could put his the stuff he was buying from China on it and then roll. And that's all he's been doing. That's all he does. But guess what? He still has what? A house and a car. And many people say, well, what's the big deal about a house, Erica? You keep bringing up a house. Many of you don't realize you don't want to live in apartments. You get behind 3 weeks later, you're out. Eviction, you're done. It's on your credit. Now I got to get the stuff off your credit. Right? Okay, you see what I'm saying? A house, there's people in their house that have been in their house 11 months going through the process of bankruptcy. And because banks are still like, shit, man, just give us a check. We'll work with you. Here's a check, and they start all over and they keep their house. I've seen people play this game for 5, 6, 7 years where their credit looks horrible, but they still in their house. They're still in their house. And I think that the thing is, you can't be trying to live off credit. You know what I mean? It's just a system, right? It's just, if you need points, free trips, that's cool. But if you have to have that $20,000 credit card, Erica, or I won't travel all summer with all my friends, you the prime person don't need it. Because you literally, I mean, right now, airline fee tickets are at an all-time low. And they have credit programs there. You can make payments on your airline ticket. I mean, yeah. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on this channel. I always want to encourage you guys to start businesses and make more money. But at the end of the day, some of y'all don't want to follow the rule. Like, you want to play the game to get more credit cards, but then you don't want to play the game to get them there, right? And the game to get them there is having positive payment history, having low utilization, getting a lot of these late payments off, right? So, on the 12 days of Christmas, I'm going to be giving stuff because I'm just in a giving mood. But as we finish the year out, I'm getting more credit repair sales than ever. But I know it's because people are like, oh my God, ultra FICO. But also they don't want to follow the rules. Period. Like, if Capital One is one of the easiest to get, discover, easy to start you out. But everybody wants to do Chase because Chase has all these travel points. Bro, get in where you fit in. Get in and start right. If you don't do nothing but get $3,000 Capital One cards, you treat those cards like gold, and then you make your payments. You know what I mean? Like, let's not overcomplicate a good thing. You dig what I'm saying? And I'll look over some of your comments, but again, I just want to make this short. But people keep commenting about, oh, housing. What about housing? Flippers are losing money in Philadelphia. They're not losing money. They just have tighter flips. When the last recession happened, there were people who were flipping, and at the end of the day, like, they weren't making $40,000. They were making more like if I can think of it, my last friend, he was making like 10 grand. Like, it was so tight, but he was like, I can't not finish my flips that I started, because then I'd be bankrupt. And you can't, people are sitting here looking at, well, other people are making $50,000, $100,000. They're flipping and making so much money. How come I can't do that? What's up with that? And you're like, bro, these people that you see flipping that have been doing it for years, they'll keep flipping, and they'll turn some of their flips into rentals. They'll turn some of their flips into really cheap. Like, they'll take a little cheap margin just to get rid of it. You don't have those margins, and you don't have that years of skill. And that's what people get really pissed with me. But at the end of the day, people love houses. People love houses. They want to be in houses. They do not want to be in apartments, period. Especially when you start having kids and you start having stuff. People do not want to be in apartments. So let me look over some of you guys' comments, and let's see what y'all talking about up in here. Sorry. I must have muted myself. Sorry. I don't know. Let me see what y'all got in here. Holy moly, there's 132 of y'all in here. Let's hit the like button. Let's help Scott. Oops. Let me make sure we're in here. Because I'm probably going to miss some of the first chats. Sorry. My computer's messing up. What's up, California in here? What's up, everybody? Indianapolis, Detroit in the building. Grinding in December. Books, classes, applications. Got them. Yeah. My FICO score went from 840 to 723 because $1 charge that I didn't know about on my Amex card that got reported as delinquent. Wow. What happened there? How much is a consultation? Right now, if you go on my system, I think it's, what is even in my system right now? My assistant changes my prices. Because one time she actually changed them really high, so nobody would call. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Let's see here. Let me see what we have in here. Because I don't want to quote you wrong. You're gonna be like, she lied. Her prices were higher than that. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Look it up. Click, clack, pow. It looks like right now. My 60-minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. 60-minute hour call is $300 and 30 minutes is $200. Again, anybody who does credit repair, it comes included because we have to put a game plan together for your credit repair. So anyway, next, let's see. That's why learning and mastering sales is vital. Breaks you out of introverted behavior. What's up, Hollywood, Florida? What movie? I think it's Mary, Queen of Scots. I think that's what our group is going to go see. Mm-hmm. The Power of Who, like Anne Reid's. That's a book I quote on here so many times. The Power of Who. Write down 150 people you know and look at the list always. I'm doing credit repair with you, and this was my first step to crushing these goals. Congratulations. Khalil, yes, sick of apartment living. I'm telling you, people are nasty. Like between the dogs barking all day and night, people with multiple dogs. Like I've seen this one dude, he has 3 large dogs in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, why are you making those dogs suffer? You need an apartment. You need a house. But at the same time, when they go rent a house, they know they're going to have to pay more, actually put some money down deposit. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason. No. Here, let me make sure. ATL jar. Don't buy a house right now. The housing bubble is about to burst. Be patient. Now, let me make it very clear. Different markets are different prices. There are people right now in Atlanta. Let's be really clear. In the Atlanta market, that them prices been low for years. And then they're hollering, oh, it's too low. I can't too many people. I'd rather just rent an apartment with granite countertops. The reason people are saying this, and let's be really, really honest. Everybody's like, oh, the housing market's going to burst. Oh, it's going to burst. Oh, it's going to burst. Interest rates are going up. So the same house that you could afford now with the lower interest rate, you're not going to be able to afford later. And I'm telling you what's going to happen. What you're going to see is the circle effect. Okay. Houses in Austin are now on the edges, are coming down to 220. And all these people that were further out, Liberty Hill, Salado, way out there that didn't want to be that far out, guess what they do? They move further in and put their house up for rent, right? Move further in. The people who are kind of where I'm at and they want to be downtown anyway, or they want to be in Domain area, they go move further in. So it's not, different housing markets are different, right? It's called the donut effect. If you look at Los Angeles, everybody lives in the outer donut of Los Angeles. They don't live in the center. It's too expensive. Same thing with multiple other cities. They have a donut effect. And as prices come down, all that's going to happen is people are going to move in. There won't be the availability that people think there's going to be. Oh, it's all going to crash. It's all going to crash. Austin just got, Apple is building $1 billion center here that's going to bring thousands of jobs. Do you truly believe Austin's going to have a crash? No, we're not. We're going to have a correction that's like this, but it won't have a crash. We have tons of apartments in Austin that are empty right now because people don't want apartments. It's not even emotional. It's common sense. People don't want apartments. Like people, even the whole townhouse phenomenon in Austin and around Rock by Dale, it comes out of men being like, I don't want to be in an apartment. I don't care if I have to work at Delray Hill. I want to be in a townhouse. So it's like my little house and I park in, whatever, right? It's just really that serious. Like I literally, this is a luxury apartment. We have like some other YouTubers living here. And it's like these girls that come in at 3 in the morning because they're downtown. And I'm like, y'all fronting in the luxury up north. People don't know. You just had to drive 20 minutes from downtown. So, I mean, it is what it is. Real engineer, hey, you don't want to know that. Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about what he's saying. Oh, don't buy a house right now. Don't buy a house right now. What market are you in? What market are you in? Tell me what market are you in? Because uh, if you're in Las Vegas, it didn't even recover all the way. If you're in Phoenix, Arizona, and you had 300,000 people move into Phoenix, Arizona, okay, again, like, what market are you in? Everybody keeps saying it's going to crash, but it's market by market. The only markets, two markets that I can tell you right now are peaking right now is Nashville and Austin. And this here's, let's be really honest. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy when it crashes." No, you're not. Your credit's not going to be in shape. Your money's not going to be in shape. Just let's keep it 100. In Atlanta, I bought 5 foreclosed rental properties for cash when the market fell. Keyword, cash. You had cash. There's a lot of people out here, no cash. They have no cash. They don't. They don't. People keep saying, "Oh, don't buy, don't buy." You have to do it market by market. Market by market. Prime example, Charlotte, North Carolina, Countrywide did that big thing where they were just like, "Oh, whoops, we accidentally foreclosed on all these people." Several people had $75,000 houses that were brand new construction that were sold for 25,000. Those same houses now are $100,000 value. And the people that walked away, they did nothing but lose value. Again, you have to go by city and state. Again, I always keep telling y'all, city and state. Boss light, I hate learning all these things in almost 40. And here's the thing. There's somebody posted something on Instagram earlier, like, "Oh, some people just don't know, ignorance is bliss." Ignorance is not an excuse. That's actually a law. Like, you cannot go to court and say, "I did not know." Ignorance is not an excuse for when you break the law. It's not an excuse. There's so many people like, "He didn't do nothing. He didn't know what he was doing." It's not an excuse. It's actually like, you have to know. So, like, prime example, in Dallas right now, and the edges, in like Plano and some of these places, houses are going for 150,000. If you actually look up Texas realtor.com and the years, that's what houses were going before it was booming in Dallas. 150,000. These are just further out, right? So you got a brand new house with all the upgrades for 150,000. I know people think, "Oh, it's going to crash. It's totally going to crash," right? 150,000 was where it was before. That's why I'm saying you got to go city by state, city by state, city and state. You have to know your city and state, and you have to know the history of it, because if you don't, your numbers are wrong. Period. Hey, what's up? Nicole Williams, I had an opportunity to have dinner with Archandra in Dallas. They are the real deal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Click, clack, boom. My links are always below. You can always check the links. If you go through our sales if you go through sales website, it's going to be 490. If you go through our Thinkative site, it's 450, I think, right now, and that's because the fees they're charging us. Exactly. If you're going to need a mortgage, I'm telling y'all, listen, mortgage brokers. Let me put it to you this way. Let me put it this way, and I'm be careful. Remember the whole the ninja loans, no information, low. Like, people were coming in there with no documentation. They had these really like thin files, and they were getting proof for mortgages left and right. When the recession hits again, you're going to have Fort Knox credit, and you're going to have at least 5 years worth of track record of them seeing bank statements, receipts, tax returns. They're not going to play the second time around. And everybody keeps thinking that if you have cash right now, look me in my eye. If you have cash right now, or if you have a business that's thriving and you're stacking cash away for the recession, make sure you're getting in some of these networking groups. Make sure you're going in your city or wherever your state is that you think you're going to go buy up everything, because trust me, what happened the last recession, I told y'all in Atlanta, a freaking builder ran out of money, Our family went down there, and there were several townhouses for sale for $7,000 and $12,000. They were originally going for 70, 80,000, but the builder didn't finish. That was the thing. The builder finished them right as the recession hit. Right as the recession hit, and people couldn't afford what? They couldn't get a mortgage on it. So the bank said, guess what? We're going to do an auction, because if we can't get mortgages, people can't qualify for mortgages in Atlanta. We're going to auction it. So again, when people sit here and tell me, oh, you should wait. If you can't qualify for a mortgage, waiting for the recession is crazy. I have thought about assisting living for the elderly, but Erica, okay, gotcha. Robinhood has a checking account. I've been flipping 8 years with my family. Credit program on airline tickets. Dude, they've been doing that for a while now. They've been doing that, which is crazy because I was checking out flights. Now I know this is horrible, but if you want to go to Europe right now, don't hate me, but if you want to go to Europe right now, like you want to travel all over Europe, and you can hear some other YouTubers talk about it right now, basically make your connecting flight through Paris. And many people are like, oh no, Erica, they're rioting in the streets in Paris. They got fires. I didn't say stay in Paris. I didn't say go to Paris. I said make your connecting flight to Paris, because tickets were at an all-time low. People were leaving New York for $350 to Paris because of what? Bad news. And then they got over there to Europe and booked their ticket $50 to fly wherever, right? Because it's just a hub. Lexington law is not quality. Period. Like that's the difference. Lexington law is not quality. And when people sit here, that's what's the difference between you and Lexington. I don't have to name our differences. They're not quality. Period. Like literally, you could even read the staff reviews on Indeed on a lot of these websites. It just cracks me up. Yes. I was just told last night, Mrs. Love Jones said this: VA loan was the best to use from a lender in ATL, Georgia. Again, always use a mortgage broker. That's why I always talk about Kareem on the channel, not individual people, because they can only offer you the program at their company. A mortgage broker has hundreds of loan programs. Even here in Texas, if you're a veteran, you can get an acre absolutely free. No loan on it or whatever. Then there's a lot of new build programs. There's a lot of different things that are out there. That's the key. People don't know. Veterans United. There you go. You can still get a good house slash condo in Phoenix for 175. Ding ding ding. And that's why a lot of people move from California. Garcia Simpson, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think Gary, Indiana is. I don't even think the tax liens are worth it. I don't think the city's worth it. I think it's one of those areas. There is no engine coming there to bring that economy back. It looks like a war zone. Like I've been there with several investors. Like, and I'm like, no, no. Detroit, you have billions and billions of dollars being hammered into that city from overseas, from China, from Israel, from all these different countries, pouring billions into that city. They are going to keep that hub going, right? Like they're keeping that hub going. Like they're building. When I was there in Detroit, it was like Crane City everywhere. It was crazy. You have to go see it with your own eyes. That's why when people say, "Oh, Detroit," I'm like, watch the Detroit video I do at Asia. Literally watch it. No, Jay Slink, you'll still have opportunities, because a lot of people who were holding on grandma and grandpa's house and they didn't really care and they were paying taxes, next year when they're scared, they're like, oh, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. It happens every year. And people let go of houses for all kind of reasons. Trust. There you go, X Fat Boy lifestyle. Ignorance is expensive. Very. So X Fat Boy Lifestyle said, "Hey, I followed the post you talked about the Chinese using to start a business and get business credit. I went to Wells Fargo same day, opened a business account. They already gave me a business credit card for 10K with a business line of credit for 50 for my trucking company. Boom. Correct, Mrs. Dove Jones. Lexington Law is crap. David Porter. There you go. It's Crane City in Nashville too. Yeah, they got to finish it out. So anyway, Gary and it looks worse than some small other towns. Yeah, I mean it's been de-industrialized, and you can go Google that for yourself. But de-industrialized, where all the major engines of the economy, like the factories, the jobs, they're gone. Latrona Johnson, easy. You go on realtor.com, or you can actually have like you ever see a new construction neighborhood, uh, and sometimes there's like vacant lots, and they like sell you the lots for like 3,000 to 20,000. You actually veterans can get them for like it's a program here in Texas. There you go, ex fat boy lifestyle. I'm telling you. So again, I just want to make that very clear. I'm gonna do other videos, but I do have to go here in a second. I'm gonna do other videos, especially in the private Facebook group, about house buying Brian and what the techniques you're seeing him talk about all the time. I'm even going to bring Nita on. I might give away her wholesaling course as a part of the 12 Days of Christmas. Buy one of hers. What else? I'm trying to think of another one. Where's the other one? I'm thinking of the other one. I have a couple different people coming on. I'm gonna give out books. I'm gonna give out all kind of stuff because I find that um, some people are like, "Oh, I don't have the money, or I'm just on a budget. I can't." And some of you are in great positions where this really could help you and be life changing. And I'm just having an awesome freaking year. So exactly. See, he's talking about it. I mean, anyway, the point of the story is, look, you guys want new levels. You got two choices. You can play the game when it comes to credit, or you can go make more money. And I say that all the time, and I know it drives people crazy. Same thing about the housing. People are emotional creatures. So even if you have rentals, again, all the people I know who had rentals in the last recession were like, some tenants were tripping, but most tenants weren't. They were scared, so they stayed. And something Dr. Meadows said when I brought him on that people don't realize, when you have a lot, like you have storage units in your backyard, or you have a big garage, or you have storage in the attic, people don't want to move. I've met countless people been in a house 15 years renting. There's someone in my mom's neighborhood who moved in from New York the same time my mom bought her house on the back of the lake. They've been renting for almost 20 fucking years. And they're like, yeah, they wouldn't sell us the house. Why would they? Y'all came from New York and you've been renting for 20 years. This is a cash cow. This house has been paid off. And my mom bought a foreclosure. Okay, so that neighborhood, that house on the lake was a foreclosure. It was on the back of the lake, was behind it. 2-car garage, three bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, huge North Carolina house. Got it for 150. It was going for 300,000. And what people don't understand is, like, you have to be ready to access that. Ready to access that. So again, click clack boom, then you just go watch the show later. So anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to like make these 3 points clear. Make sure you guys hit the like button. How do you set new track records next year? You gotta pick your routes. You can be in housing. You can be just starting a business, depending on what, we've talked about several business ideals on this channel. And 3, credit. It's a big deal. Like, even though people keep telling me, well, I'm gonna do all this stuff when the recession happens. Now, if you ain't got cash flow or you don't got no credit, just is what it is. Exactly, Garcia. People who live people who live on the second floor of apartment complexes are more likely not to move unless they have neighbors up top that bam their head. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And when people have big spacious apartments and they done crammed a bunch of stuff in there, you got to hear the horror stories from moving companies. You got to hear them. People hate moving. They don't want to do it. So again, I even know a girl here in Austin. She's been living, and here's another prime example of somebody like, well, I'm gonna just wait. She's been in Austin like 9 years. She's in the same apartment. Like, the apartment complex was generous enough to like redo her carpet because she was going home to California for like a month. So they redid her carpet and gave her new kitchen appliances. But then, like, not a new countertop, just new kitchen appliances. And she was like, well, I'm gonna buy a house when Austin cools off. And she can tell you the story of like, oh, this house down the street from me from this apartment complex, this house used to be $80,000. I'm like, well, I had to go look up how much that house was now. It was $325,000. It was crazy. So, oh yeah, listen, it's Christmas. The lending, if you guys have if anybody noticing, Lending Club and Prosper have been sending out all kind of like, please, please, Mrs. Love Jones, I don't have the name of the program off the top of my head. Like, I literally Google benefits for veterans, Texas. Literally. I'm not even gonna joke to y'all. But I do have to run for this movie. Let me see. Hey, thank you, David Porter. I appreciate that. So, look, everybody, this is Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Listen, 2019 can be amazing, and I hope you catch the rest of this week's next 2 weeks, 12 days of Christmas. We're going to have lots of giveaways, lots of contests, and I'm excited about it because I think it's been an amazing year. And I want to bring on quality people who can give quality products to one lucky person every time, right? And I may give away 2 books every show. I think I have Money Mandu's book, and I'll have Charles Ogilvy's book and somebody else's book. Oh, Asia. I'll have Asia's books. So we'll try to find people. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Garcia Simpson, you are the sponsor of the show today. But again, if you're going to be, I'm probably do some more lives in the private Facebook group this week just to keep the show, keep the channel clear and on the focus of 12 days of Christmas. So for those of you in the Facebook group, you know what's up. Anyway, this is Erica, Classy Climb blog, author of Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in Real Estate, People, and Land from the Palm of Your Hand. If you're interested in any credit repair or the private Facebook group, the links are going to be below after this video renders. So thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for your questions. Girls gotta go. Have a great day, y'all.